Mtazamaji, nataka nikurejeshe tena kwenye makao makuu ya Umoja wa Mataifa hapa jijini Nairobi, eneo la Gigiri, ambapo kongamano awamu ya 6 ya Kongamano la Umoja wa Mataifa kuhusu mazingira linang'oa nanga rasmi katika makao makuu hayo. Hivi sasa waziri wa mazingira Soipan Tuya anazungumza. Hebu tusikize kauli zake.
Warming of 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels, presenting evidence that global warming is likely to reach 1.5 degrees between 2030 and 2052. And my sister, Dr. Benali, has just told us this morning that indeed we could already be living the reality of this. If it continues to increase at the current rate, the message is the same, consistent and clear. We are not doing too well as the global community. We must change course, and we must do so very soon. Excellencies and distinguished guests, with only 6 years remaining towards the Sustainable Development Goals, UNEA-6 comes at a time when the world is also called upon to accelerate the implementation of the UN 2030 Agenda if we are to stay course on sustainable development. Unfortunately, for millions in the developing regions of the world, including here in Africa, poverty still remains a reality, a daily reality, while economic inequality is increasing globally. As you all know, the world economy is still struggling to fully recover from the effects of COVID-19 amid disruptive conflicts and wars. It is against this backdrop that the world will be looking to us here in Nairobi this week to renew hope. And hope we must provide as we consider the 17 draft resolutions guided by the overall theme of UNEA-6, effective, inclusive, and sustainable multilateral actions to tackle climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. A lot of action, hard work, honest negotiations, and leadership are therefore needed over the next week if this UNEA is to live to its promise. Excellencies and distinguished guests, I'm also proud to inform you that in Kenya, we are doing our part to support the work of UNEP and to meet our local and international obligations on environmental management and climate action. In September last year, Kenya hosted the first ever Africa Climate Summit here in Nairobi, which adopted the African Leaders' Nairobi Declaration on Climate Change and Call to Action, which carries Africa's climate action aspirations and has since become the continent's guiding document at international fora, including the 28th United Nations Conference of the Parties, COP28. At the core of the Nairobi Declaration is Africa's resolve to pursue green growth by leveraging her immense climate action potential in sectors such as renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, critical minerals, and blue economy, among others, which I am very happy will also be forming part of the discussions in this UNEA. As Kenya, we are accelerating the transition of our country's linear waste management system into circular economy. We will showcase some of these practical efforts during Kenya's side event on circular economy scheduled for 29 February under the title Circular Economy and Extended Producer Responsibilities in Addressing Pollution Control. At the side event, Kenya will share with the global community potential solutions to plastic pollution. As one of the first countries in the world to enact legislation banning single-use plastics, we believe that the world may learn from our experience as we continue to negotiate the Global Plastic Treaty. You are therefore all invited to this side event. Further, Kenya is implementing the National Landscape and Ecosystem Restoration Program towards growing 15 billion trees as part of her deep commitment to achieving 30% tree cover by 2032. 30% of our 15 billion trees will be mostly fruit and fodder species to contribute to our country's food and nutritional security and household income. As a tradition, Kenya grows trees on occasions such as this. This is why we will grow 2,700 trees this week on behalf of all of the UNEA-6 delegates. We had anticipated that the delegates would be able to grow the trees with us, but due to the tight program and broad agenda, kindly allow us to have these trees grown on your collective behalf, ladies and gentlemen. Are we allowed to do that? Thank you very much. I take this as an agreement that we do the trees on your behalf. The above are some examples of the environmental initiatives that we are spearheading as a country. We have more to showcase, and I wish to extend an invitation to you all to visit the Kenya House that has been set up courtesy of UNEP support and which will be open throughout UNEA-6. Excellencies, distinguished guests, UNEA-6 will without a doubt be an intense week of many related activities, including the MEA's Day, high-level dialogues and the leadership dialogues, several bilateral meetings and side events. As you go through these intense engagements this week, I also wish to remind you that 2024 will mark a milestone in global governance within the United Nations system as the world plans for the Summit of the Future in September. At this UNEA-6, we have the singular opportunity to inject optimism and restore faith in a strengthened global environmental governance system underpinned by science-based multilateral diplomacy. I therefore look forward to a strong ministerial of this UNEA-6. In conclusion, I welcome all of you delegates to a reception on the 29th, where as host, we will display Kenya's celebrated hospitality. Beyond UNEA, we also have magical